안녕하세요. For today's video, we're going to continue studying how to count in Korean and how to use honorifics when having a conversation. 예측 보세요. Please continue to watch. 감사합니다. For the grammar introduction, we're going to listen to the dialogue between Rora and the clerk.
제5과 물건 사기 2 대화 1 우유 있어요?
네, 있습니다.
우유 하나 주세요.
네, 여기 있습니다.
Here we heard Rora asking the clerk if there is milk. 우유 있어요? And the answer of the clerk was very polite when he answered 네, 있습니다. 우유 하나 주세요. Can I have a carton of milk? Or that is another way to say please give me 1 carton of milk. And then the clerk politely answered 네, 여기 있습니다. Of course, here you are, or there you go, or here it is. For today's lesson, 없습니다, 없습니까? How do we use it? 없습니다 is a predicative ending, while 없습니까 is an interrogative ending, or it is used to end questions. They are both attached to a verb or predicative adjective root. They are formal and polite expressions. These expressions are normally observed when speaking to people older than us or people in higher positions, like inside the classrooms. You use this to speak with teachers, principals, and a lot more. We see here V and A plus 없습니다, V or A plus 없습니까. That means verb or adjective. In this part, we see 동사 or verb. When there is a 받침, you see 받침 and the letter O. It means 받침 있으면. The verb will use the 습니다 or 습니까. While when there is no 받침, you will see 받침 X. It means 받침 없으면. Verb will use 없습니다, 없습니까. In this example, the word is 먹다. This is the Korean term for the word eat. We see in this example that in the first syllable there is a third letter, and that is the 받침. So if there is a 받침, you add 습니다 and remove da. So instead of saying 먹다, it becomes 먹습니다. For question, it's the same. You just change it into 습니까. So we keep 먹 and add 습니까. 먹습니까? Have you eaten? Or did you eat? 듣다 is the Korean term for the word listen. And 받침 있으면, again, if there is a 받침, the verb will use 습니다 or 습니까. So you see, just like in mathematics, there is a denominator, just like a denominator on the first syllable. And that is what we call as 받침. In most cases, we see the third or the fourth letter in that particular denominator, similar to math. But here, this is an irregular verb, and we can say 듣습니다. 듣습니까? Did you listen? Or I listen. Ta is the Korean term for the English word read. 읽다. So we see here in the lower part of the first syllable, we will retain that ik, and then we add 있습니다, and that will become 있습니다. While in the lower part, when changing it to question, 있습니까? So that will be, did you read? Or I read it. Gada is the Korean term for the English word go. And there is no patchin. We don't see a third letter or a fourth letter or something in the denominator part, just like in mathematics. So we patchim 없으면. If there is no patchim, we use 없습니다, 없습니까. Gada, we will say ga and then add 없습니다. It becomes 갑니다. For question, ga 없습니까, then it becomes 갑니까. Similar to the word boda, which is the Korean term for the English word watch, see, or look. Boda, it doesn't have a patchim. It doesn't have the third letter in the lower part of the first syllable, so we use 없습니다 and 없습니까. So bo plus 없습니다 becomes 봅니다. Bo plus 없습니까 becomes 봅니까. Another word that we have here is sada, which is the Korean term for the word buy. Again, this doesn't have a patchim, so you see patchim X, it means patchim 없으면. If there is no patchim, we continue using 없습니다 for sentences and 없습니까 for question mark. So example, 사다 will become 쌉니다. While changing it to question mark from 사다, it will become 쌉니까. We add 사 and 없습니까. Therefore, we pronounce it as 쌉니까. 형용사 or adjective. Same procedure. When there is a patchim, we use adjective plus 씁니다 or 씁니까. And when there is no patchim, adjective plus 없습니다 or 없니까. The first example for adjective is the word 있다. As we notice, it is encircled in the lower part of the first syllable that there is a patchim. So patchim 있으면, if there is a patchim, we use 있습니다 or 있습니까 for question. And 있다 is the Korean term for English phrases as it is available, it exists, I have it. So how do we change it? From 있다, it becomes 있습니다. From 있다, the question will be 있습니까? The next word is the Korean term for the English phrases. It is not available, it does not exist, I don't have it, it isn't here. And that word is 없다. We normally hear it as 없어요. Now to make it formal, since it has a patchim, we say 없습니다. And for asking if it isn't there, you say 없습니까? 다르다 is the Korean term for the English word different. We don't see a patchim here, so patchim 없으면 we use 없니다 or 없니까. So we say 다릅니다. 다릅니까? 크다 is the Korean term for the English word big. We normally hear it as 커요. 크다, it doesn't have a patchim, and we use 없니다 or 없니까 for question mark. So we say 큽니다. 큽니까? Is it big? It is big. 큽니다. Let us take a look at this first example. Practice. 연습. 방 하나 주세요. Please give me one bread. 네, 여기. So from the base 있다, how do we say it formally? What should be the answer? Okay, we answer 네, 여기 있습니다. Because 있다 has a patchim. So we add 있습니다. Here it is. For the next example, sagwa 둘 주세요. Please give me 2 apples. However, we see inside the box that there is no apple. So you say 죄송합니다. I'm sorry. sagwa가. How do you say 없다 formally? We say 죄송합니다. sagwa가 없습니다. I am sorry, however, we don't have apples. In this example, we see the question 물 하나 주세요. Please give me 1 bottle of water. 얼마예요? How much is it? We see 801 beside it. And the answer that we see there is 이예요. So how do we say it is 801 in a most formal way? To say it formally, we will answer 800원입니다. It is 801. 800원입니다. 그다음 오렌지 5 주세요. 얼마예요? Please give me 5 oranges. How much is it? And we see it as 이예요. There are 5 apples available for 5,000 won. How do we say that in Korean in the most formal way? We say 5,000원입니다. 5,000 won is 5,000 and the currency is 1. 5,000 won and 이예요 is changed to 입니다. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you learned how to modify expressions in the most formal way, whether it is an adjective or a verb. Please continue to watch my future videos. If you learned something, don't forget to like and subscribe. 감사합니다.